Hey guys, in today's video, let's look at how we can create QR codes for PowerPoint. It's a little more tricky than with Excel, but I think it's still manageable. So the first thing you want to do is to save your PowerPoint as a macro-enabled presentation. Um, that will allow you to use VBA in your slides. So once you've done that, head over to Developer and then Visual Basic. If you don't already have a module, you can right click on modules and then insert module. Okay, so with that out of the way, let's get ready to do some code. So the first thing is we'll declare the subroutine, and then so we'll call it insert QR codes from text boxes. So we want to take all the URLs on the slide that are in the text boxes and then create QR codes for all of them. Okay, so then now once you have that, let's get our declarations out of the way. So the first thing, we'll say dim slide as slide, and then we'll have the text box, so dim text box as shape. Then we want our QR code values, a string to store them, so dim QR code value as string. Yeah, that should do it. And so where it gets a little more tricky than Excel is we can't insert the picture directly from the URL. We would need to download it temporarily and store it, and then insert that image. So to do that, we're going to have this thing called the XMLHTTP as object. Okay, and then we'll need a ByteArray to store as byte, and the temp file path of our image that we downloaded, temp file path as string. Okay, then our pictures, then picture as shape, then slide index, so our slide as integer, and text box index as integer, and then our left and top position of the QR code when we insert them. So dim left position as single. Okay, and then top position as single. Okay, so that is all our declarations out of the way. So now what we want to do is we want to set active slide to be where all our text boxes are. So what we do is we will say, okay, let me just put a comment. Active slide contains text boxes for QR code generation. So now we want to set that. So we will set our slide to be equals to the active presentation dot slides. Okay, and then it will be in our active window dot selection dot slide range, and then it will be dot slide index. Okay, so that's setting our active slide. So then now we want to loop through all the text boxes. Okay, so what we can then do is we could save, so for each text box in slide.Shapes. Yeah, it should be slide.Shapes. Then we will close it out with a next text box. Spelling, yeah, next text box. Okay. So now let's write our for loop to go through all text boxes. So if it's a if our textbox.Type is a msoTextBox, then what we want to do, well, let's just close out the if statement, and if, that's always important. So what we want to do is we want to get the QR code value from this text box. So we will set QR code underscore value that we declared up above will be the text box dot text frame 2 dot text range dot text. Yeah, so this is how you get the text box value pretty accurately. And the next thing we want to do is we then want to download the image. So once we get the QR code, the URL, we should then create a request to download image. So this is why we need the XMLHTTP object above. So we'll set XMLHTTP. What we'll set it to is we'll then create an object, right? And then the object will be ms.xml2.xmlhttp, right? Because we want to download this, and then we will say XML HTTP, and we will open it .open, and we want to use a get, and here we're going to pass in the URL. So the URL, this is similar to the Excel version. So we're going to use the Google APIs, HTTPS chart.googleapis.com/chart $CHS equals, and we can make it smaller, so maybe 100 by 100, and CHT equals QR, and CH1 equals, okay, and then we're going to pass in our QR code value for the QR code generation. Okay, so this downloads, and yeah, we will need to pass in a parameter false. So this will download the image, the QR code image, and then we need to get this, sends the request, and then we need to convert the response to a byte array. Convert response to byte array. So to do that, we will say byte array, and then it'll be our XML HTTP dot body. No, sorry, it should be dot response body. Yeah, and then now we're going to need to save the byte array to a file. Save byte array to file. And here we're going to use our TempFilePath, TempFilePath. Okay, so this TempFilePath will be our environ dot dollar, and then our temp variable, and then we can call it yeah, we can call it, say, so we'll pass in the slash temp QR code.png. Okay, so we've saved it. Then now we're going to open it. So we'll then open TempFilePath for binary access right as number 1. Yeah. Then we want to put number 1, comma, ByteArray. We want to close it. Okay, so far so good, I think. And then now we're gonna what we're gonna do is we're gonna get our positions. So we had the left position, and we wanna, sorry, it should be left position, and we want to put it so we want to put the QR codes to the right of our text box. So textbox dot left, and then we want to add a width. So left of the text box plus text box dot width, and then we add a buffer. So I'll put in just 10, but you can arrange this as you want. And then our top position will simply be textbox.Top. Okay, so I think we are good on that. And then now all that's left to do is to insert the picture. So insert downloaded picture. So here we will just set the picture, and then we'll say slide.Shapes.add picture, and then we're going to add, so you can see the parameters here. So the temp file path is where we want to add the picture from. Let me get the capitalization. And then MSO file should be MSO false. We don't need a link to it. Then MSO true. And then left position. And then top position. I think this is, oh, and then of course the size of the, which is, we had it as 100 by 100. Okay, so I think yeah, this should be it. We've inserted, and then did I close out the if? Yes, I did. So let's just clean up some space. Okay, and then one optional thing you could do is you could also kill the temp file path, but I don't think that's absolutely necessary. So yeah, let's give it a spin. Insert QR code from text boxes. So if we go back to our, save it again. So if we go back here, we want to run the macro. So macro insert QR code. Let's run it. Hopefully no errors. And we get a slight error. So let's see. It's in this object required. I see a spelling. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, spelling mistakes happen. Save. Let's try that again. Okay, brilliant. We got 3 different QR codes. Okay, so there was a slight error in the QR code URL earlier, and so let me just show you where. Over here I typed in CH1, it should be CHL. Yep, and so with that modification, the QR code generation works nicely, and you can see we have three separate QR codes for three different URLs. So if you have multiple QR codes to generate, you can just look through all the URLs in the text box on the slide and it will generate the QR code for you. Hope you guys found this useful, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.